All right, let's talk about leveling up your career. Today, we're going to unlock a way of thinking that helps you see your work, your team, and your whole company in a completely new light. We're diving into the Lean Six Sigma Yellow Belt, which is your very first step to becoming a true problem solver. Let's get into it.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? That one process that takes way longer than it should. Or doing the same rework over and over. Or maybe customers who are just constantly being let down. It's so frustrating. And it feels inefficient because, well, it is. But what if there was a proven, structured way to fix all that for good?
And that's exactly where Lean Six Sigma comes into play. You can think of it like a superpowered X-ray for your business. It's this data-driven method that's all about systematically finding and getting rid of waste. Anything that doesn't add real value. The whole point is to make every single process smoother, faster, and just plain better.
Okay, so let's check out the Six Sigma belts, because this is basically your roadmap to mastery. See, Lean Six Sigma isn't just some technique you learn in an afternoon. It's a real discipline. And kind of like in martial arts, your progress is marked by this clear, color-coded belt system that shows the whole journey.
And here's the whole ladder. It all starts with the white belt, which is the foundation, and it goes all the way up to the master black belt. And each level up doesn't just mean you know more stuff. It means you have a much greater ability to drive real, meaningful change inside an organization. So, everybody starts as a white belt. This is square one. You're learning the lingo, you're grasping the core concepts, you get why it all matters. You're aware of the game, but you're not really on the field just yet. You're still on the sidelines.
Which brings us to our main topic, the first step, the role of a yellow belt. This is where you get off those sidelines and you finally get into the action. It is the first truly active step on your journey to improving processes. So what's the big difference? It's really simple. A white belt has an awareness of the concepts, but a yellow belt actually participates in projects. They don't just know the terms, they're actively helping out with crucial stuff like collecting basic data. It's a huge jump from just knowing about something to actually doing it.
So really, a yellow belt becomes a core member of the team. You've got a solid handle on the big picture, you know why you're doing what you're doing, and you can make a real, meaningful contribution to the projects being led by green and black belts. So what's inside the yellow belt's toolkit? What do you actually get? Well, think of this as your first professional toolkit for problem solving. It's packed with practical, powerful skills you can start using pretty much immediately. Now, at the absolute heart of every single Six Sigma project is this cycle right here, DMAIC. You're going to see this everywhere. This is the structured roadmap. It stops you from just guessing, and it makes sure every improvement is based on solid data. It's the engine that really illuminates the path forward. And DMAIC breaks down into these 5 common sense phases. First, you define the real problem, not just the symptoms. Then you measure its current performance with actual hard data. Next, you analyze that data to figure out what's truly going on. Then you improve the process with a targeted solution. And finally, you control it to make sure you lock in those games for good.
So as a yellow belt, you'll learn to use some really powerful but simple tools, like Pareto charts and histograms, to see problems visually. You'll get the hang of data collection, so you're working with facts, not feelings. And you'll start digging for the real root cause of issues and begin to understand the language of data.
Now, let's just zoom in on one of those tools for a second, because it's built on a really cool idea, the Pareto principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. And basically, it suggests that in almost any situation, a small number of causes, the 20%, are responsible for the vast majority of the problems, the 80%.
And that's the absolute magic of a Pareto chart. It takes this messy sea of data and turns it into a simple, visual story. It shines a giant spotlight on that critical 20%, showing everyone, especially the decision makers, exactly where they should focus their energy to get the biggest impact.
Another key skill you'll learn is root cause analysis. See, instead of just putting a Band-Aid on a problem that's just going to come back, yellow belts learn to ask why, again and again and again. You learn to dig past the surface issues to find the one fundamental thing that's actually causing the trouble. Now, let's be super clear about statistics. No one expects a yellow belt to be a statistician, okay? You're not going to be running these super complex tests yourself. But, and this is really important, you will learn to speak the language. You'll understand what the results mean and how they guide the project. You'll be part of that data-driven conversation.
Okay, so what's next? Let's talk about your next level up, the path to the green belt. Because earning your yellow belt is a huge step, for sure, but it's also just the launch pad. So let's look at where this path can take you.
I mean, think about it like this. Getting that yellow belt certification is what transforms you. You stop being someone who just sees problems from the sidelines, and you become someone who steps into the light, an active, valuable participant in creating the solution and helping your organization succeed.
So the next level up is the green belt. And this is where you really start to take the lead. Green belts are out there leading smaller improvement projects from start to finish. They start performing basic statistical tests themselves, and they become a real driving force for getting rid of waste in the company. So, the big question is, are you ready to make that move from team member to team leader? Look, the yellow belt gets you in the game, but the green belt, that lets you start leading it. The path to becoming an essential problem solver is laid out right in front of you. The only question left is, how many problems are you ready to solve?